today's video, we're going to be talking about a few things that you can do to level up your TPT products. If you are new or returning, welcome. Here at Sell Primary, we talk teacher side hustles, TPT, you know, the stuff. We're going to take a little break from the mistakes. I know there's a lot of mistakes. We're dealing with mistakes now. But at the same time, while you are working on those mistakes, fixing them all up, let's talk about leveling up that product. Let's make sure it is top quality. So one of the things I want to talk about is the change of teachers. With all the shortages, school districts are now resorting to hiring just about anybody. If they're warm and breathing, hey, you can be a teacher. It's quite scary, but that is what we're faced with right now. So given that we know this, one of the best things that you can do with your product to make it different than everyone else's is to provide either a how to use this resource page or lesson plans. Now, lesson plans are a lot of work, but with a lot of work, you can put the price up. Teachers or non-teachers are looking for ease. And if you can provide a resource where you've got lesson plans attached or a very thorough how to use this resource, your product's going to stand out because the people are going to see that and go, hey, I need that. Add something like that. Don't just make your worksheets and expect people to buy them. There are boatloads, thousands upon thousands of worksheets without any explanation, without answer keys or any of that kind of stuff on Teachers Pay Teachers. Do something different and better. Do it better. So put yourself in their shoes. If you did a unit on matter, okay, solids, liquid, gases, how many days do you think your unit that you've created would take? Would it take 1 week, 40 minutes each day? Would it take 2 weeks, a month? Lay out a bit of a scope and sequence going, if you spent 1 hour each day, again, depending on grade, it will take you this many days. I would cover this to this, these pages on this day, these pages to this day, right? Lay it all out. Assume they know nothing. And they might know. The value of your product goes way up when you provide that extra bit of teaching, actually. You're teaching them how to use your product. Huge thing to add. And again, if you start adding lesson plans, so a day, day 1, make a whole lesson plan. Day 2, make a lesson plan, right? Even if your resource is adding to 10, make a lesson plan. How long would the booklet take if they use the whole booklet? Or, if say you have a booklet that's 50 pages and you say, for these skills, work on this. Here's a hands-on activity. Introduce it, give them the page, blah, 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 right? Give them some real meat to that resource. Talking about the resource a little bit more, make sure that when you've got a resource that's over even 20 pages, that doesn't have to be that small, add a table of contents. Let them see what you have. And as I mentioned when I was talking about product descriptions, literally put that table of contents in your product description. Let them know what pages, or use it as a thumbnail. Take a picture of your table of contents and make it a thumbnail. And then add little sidebars on things and really show them exactly what they're getting. Again, to level up your table of contents, hyperlink it. What is hyperlink? That means when they click on that page, if they're looking at it online, by clicking on the description or the page in your table of contents, it takes them directly to that page, right? Hyperlink. That was something I learned when I started TPT. And it's something, especially my bigger products, I hyperlink everything if I can. I try to remember to do it anyways. Again, it's a bonus feature. A lot of people don't do it. Whoa, there they go. Out. They just have all these moving boxes. Yes, that's what I'm doing in the next 2 months. And they are playing with them. Okay, anyways, we can talk about that later. Okay, the next one, differentiation. What does differentiation look like? It depends on what the resource is. But in a given classroom, no child is at the exact same level. So think about how a teacher would use your resource given the gap of abilities in their room. So you've got high at one end, low at the other end, and then you got them bunch. For the longest time, teachers would often see what we call the bell curve, right? And this is where the majority of kids are. I find that bell curve is actually shifted down. And so you still have the bell curve, but it's not a, 10% at the top, 10% at the bottom, 80% here. It's not like that anymore. It's like, boom. Okay, so you're getting more and more towards the lower end, sorry, which way I'm doing this on the camera. What would a teacher use your resource for their high, mid, and low kids? So in some ways, you are creating your product and then altering it on certain pages to accommodate those kids. Now, many teachers just say, oh, the EA can do that or whatever. Yes, they can. They can accommodate them, but why don't you do it? Bring more value to your resource by differentiating, giving pages that will accommodate. What are some things you can do? You can make the font bigger for kids who have trouble. You can have more visuals for the kids. So if you're doing reading passages or something, less sentences for those kiddos. For the kids that are really high, the same passage with harder words. Make the vocabulary more rich, right? Think of different ways to accommodate each level. So just make the assumption that there are at least 3 levels in a classroom. So maybe make your resource with 3 different varieties to choose from. And say that you differentiated and you have a low, middle, high resource. That's huge. In my class right now, just today alone, I've got kids who can't count past, I have one child who can't count past 3. I have got some kids who can barely get to 10. And then I got my middle group that can count to about 20, 25. And then I got a kid who can, add 3 digits, start multiplying. So I got one group, 1 or 2, right? So I have to have literally 3 different resources for them. Now you may say, well, that's a lot of work. Yes, it is. And a teacher will pay for that work. They will. I'm not saying all 50 pages have to be differentiated, but offer them 5 to 10 pages at a lower end and 5 to 10 pages at a higher end, or give them some sort of math challenge for the kids, right? You don't want to, like, for example, with grade 1, this is one of the discussions we've had. When you got a student who is above grade 1 in level, you don't want to just start giving them grade 2 work, because then they're going to go into grade 2 and they're going to get bored real quick. You don't want to do that to that teacher. Create some sort of math project for them to do that takes the grade 1 concepts and just amps them up a little bit without stepping on the toes of the grade 2 or stepping on the grade 2 curriculum too much. Does that make sense? But if you offer those sort of things, that's terrific. Then that way that teacher's not having to look for a lower level math and a higher level math. You're providing both for them, and they'll pay for it. Okay, because in essence, you're giving them almost 3 resources in one. The last one I want to talk about, because if you're doing these things, your products and your products are already optimized on TPT, they will sell. They will. If you're not selling, it's probably not on the first couple of pages, therefore you're not optimizing. Okay? Or you are making a resource that there are already 80,000 in existence. Remember, Teachers Pay Teachers is already have 10 million products listed. It's crazy. Okay, but the last one, and this one takes a little bit of thinking. This is one of the things that I'm doing right now. Actually, I'm not doing it right now. I'll talk about that in a bit. But I started doing some planning back in the summer, and that was diversifying the resource. Worksheets, thousands upon thousands of them. What if you provide a resource that's not only worksheets, but something else as well? So they're getting a 2-for-1 type thing. What could that be? It could be digital. Remember, digital resources are constantly trending. When you join my Side Hustle Help email list, I send out an email bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks. One of the features right at the bottom of the email is what is trending this week, right? I actually take it the day I make that email. And literally everything since September that I've been posting is digital resources, is usually in the top 3 every single week. Every single week. And yet we continually make paper stuff. So why not offer a digital component of that resources, whether that be Google Slides, Boom Cards, a PowerPoint game, task cards that they can print and the kids can do them on their own in a center or something like that. Diversify the resource. Like I said, we just have way too many worksheets, and honestly, you get worksheet out, and schools now are, I mean, we got the pep talk that you don't need to photocopy all these things. You kind of do, but it would be good to offer teachers stuff that they don't have to photocopy a class set of, that it's ready to go. The cat is in the box. So those are just a few things, but those little things would make a huge difference in the quality of your resource if you did them. And again, you're looking for ways, Milo, stop that. You're looking for ways that you are setting your resource apart from other people. Optimize high quality products. That's the way to go. If you are a new seller, don't even go on social media. Like, you don't need it. You can make, I'm meeting more and more sellers that are making 1,000 to 2,000 and not even touching. No. He's like, oh yeah? That's what he wants to do. I can't remember what I was saying. Shoot, rats. I knew I had something profound to say. I am meeting more and more new sellers that are making $1,000 to $2,000 a month, and they're not on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, none of those. They're not on them. They don't have to be. Okay, if you are optimizing high quality, you will make the money. Again, you have to be careful of the niche that you're in, but you can totally do it. And that's not clickbait or anything like that. It's when you want to make more than that, you need to start considering other ways, because I think gone are the days that you can make 10,000 a month without being somewhere else. I think honestly, email is the way to go. I can't remember what the upcoming video is. My life has changed dramatically. A few of you do know what's happened in my life. Basically, we thought my mom was going to pass in the summer, which really, so we started doing all these little things, and she stopped eating for a couple weeks and everything, and we thought, this is it. And suddenly she had this turn. And then my dad's health went the other way, and my dad passed away on Thanksgiving Monday. So our Thanksgiving is in October. So October 14th, my dad passed away. And that was a bit of a shock. I mean, we knew his health was not good either, but like I said, our eyes were on our mom, and then it happened to dad. Life has made a huge change. I used to make dinners for him and go out with him a couple times a week. And with my siblings, I am packing up his house, and I'm going to be moving in. So you're not going to see this little studio much longer. Probably sometime after Christmas, I'll be moving, because between teaching and other things, it's not going to be fast. So that's my life. And, you know, many of you have sent me lovely condolences and lovely encouraging notes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Some days are easier than others, that's for sure. It's now been just over a month, so it's getting better. But every so often a song comes on and I'm like, oh! I think for me, making YouTube videos is actually very therapeutic. It works for me. For some people, making a TPT product would work for them. I have stepped away from TPT right now because of this whole stuff, all this stuff. And I will probably get back to it in the spring. Moving and everything else. And we just actually had his burial just the other week. So I got family coming in this weekend, and so that's going to take up some time. But my commitment is to make a video a week for you, because I so appreciate you, and I really appreciate this community. So I will be doing some I'm going to be doing some not planning videos, but strategy videos, okay, for the new year, and a couple how to get started, because really there's never a bad time to start Teachers Pay Teachers. Teachers Pay Teachers is not going anywhere. Teachers Pay Teachers will always, I think, will always be the #1 teacher marketplace out there. The past couple town hall meetings, I've been very encouraged by what they've had to say and what they're doing, to the point where I'm seriously considering going to my first conference this summer. We'll see. Yeah, depends on how the move and everything else goes and the cost of all of that, right? So wherever you are in the world, I hope you and your family are staying safe and being healthy, and we'll catch you in that video or the playlist. See ya.